Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call to order the public hearing of the 23-24 proposed budget for Lexington County School District 3. It is Tuesday, May the 9th at 5:30, and we are here at the district office. Board members, before you have an agenda, and without objection, we will approve the agenda as presented. Agenda is approved as presented. We will move on to item 2.0, our public hearing, the administrative briefing on the proposed 23-24 budget by Ms. Roden.
Okay, good evening, board and public. This is the public hearing. We're going to go through what we're going to present later as first reading of the General Fund 23-24 General Fund budget. We've had two work sessions, one on March 20th and one on April 17th, and we hammered through all the information that the state gave us and what our needs are for next year's. And we built this budget, built this plan. We ran the ad 15 days. It was published in the Twin City News on April 21st, and it was advertised publicly so anyone who chose to could show up and make comments on what's presented here tonight. Okay, our first slide is our 135-day attendance report. We are down 11 children over the last 10 years in our average daily membership. We have decreased $529,000 in revenue based on the new formula, so it's just going to be curious to see how the money is distributed going forward. Our next slide is revenues. There are three types of revenues to fund the school districts. It's local, state, and federal. The general fund is made up of state and local funds only. This is the only budget that the board votes on. You all have input into our federal programs, and you've been at meetings where we do that, but here this is just the general fund that we're addressing tonight. Halfway down the page you will see state aid to classrooms, education funding, GF. This replaces the approximately 15 categories in EFA previously, and that is $9.1 million, and the line under it, state aids to classrooms, the EIA funding, that's the EIA funds that have been rolled up. There's a few EIA funds that we still account for, but the majority of them are being rolled up into the 23-24 year, so we're going to have less and less funds in the EIA to account for. And the EIA was that fourth penny that was added years ago to the sales tax. We're estimating $28.080868 in revenues. This will require us to use $1.8 million of our current existing general fund balance. You do see that the revenue here is an increase of $575,000 on line 1. That is due to, I adjusted that based on prior year collections. That's more trued up. The next page is, like you see, monthly and on something with these schedules in next year as well, but we're gradually going to try to get those up as well. And the administrative positions, we increased 2%, and we developed a 15-step schedule for each of the classifications. We kind of made salary schedules that were alike. We put the people on those, got rid of some and built new ones. So we will be adding a ESOL position at the middle school, and we have budgeted an alternative education position as well. We have to pick up after-school match for the 21st Century and Avid Tutoring. That's currently in one of the EIA funds that we have, but we have to roll that up into the general fund. I'm going to increase substitute pay to $80 per day for classified instruction and $100 for certified instruction. And we're also adding a couple of athletic stipends, archery, etc. With all these salaries and stuff, it adds increases to retirement and FICA and health insurance. We are going to have a health insurance of 3.7. This will kick in January of '24. So this is just half of a year in there. Other things we have addressed are property insurance and telephone, athletic officials and energy, middle college books and Avid fees. These were things that we paid for, some of them, in other funds like Avid fees, but now we're adding nurses, that some of that money's rolling up in there too, the state restricted nursing money, all that stuff. And then this is the simplest way to say where our money goes. And we are people, that's what we serve the students. Go back and recapture millage from the prior 3 years and the current year. So if we went back and recaptured everything, we could gain a $1.3 million in estimated revenue. And Act 388 allows the district, it caps what you can levy. And so it's based on the consumer price index figure and population growth. This year, we're allowed to increase 21.78 mills, which is really a lot of mills, because if you look down the prior years, which we had COVID, there was not that much growth, and the consumer price index didn't change that much. This year, it went up to 8%. So at this point, we are going to recommend tonight that we do not have a tax increase. We do not increase general fund millage. And that's what we are going to propose for first reading tonight. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Ms. Roden. Any public comments from anyone? All right, hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the,
We just need to adjourn.
pardon?
We just need to adjourn. I'm sorry, 3.0, we just need to adjourn.
I'm on the wrong page. I'm sorry. I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn.
All right, I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Second from Ms. Derrick. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. We are adjourned, and then we will continue with our regular board meeting at 6 o'clock.